SSI $1,400 fourth stimulus check update for supplemental security income. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know right here in the video. Let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, we're specifically focusing on SSI, supplemental security income, and the roughly 8 million beneficiaries who do receive benefits from this program every single month, as requested by some of you right here in the community. Now, to be 100% completely fair, this video and everything I'm talking about here in this video does also pertain to other beneficiaries that we focus on here in the community, including but not limited to Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, seniors, older adults, and of course, people with disabilities. Now, I just want to throw that through really quickly just so we can all be on the same page here. But again, I've been seeing this question down below in the comment section, and some of you here in the community that do receive SSI have been reaching out asking, what's going on? Can you give us a dedicated video talking just about SSI and a fourth stimulus check in the amount of $1,400? So yes, that's exactly what I'm giving you right here in this video. So let's get into it and talk about what's going on, what I'm watching very closely, and what this year will likely bring. 2024, we all know it's a very busy time and things are happening very quickly right now, and things are changing throughout the entire year. Let's get into it and buzz through all the details. Really fast before we do, let me ask you a quick question. Are you looking for honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information every single day? Are you also looking for updates, as in information hitting the wire, the new information that's being released, new bills, packages, and proposals, anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, including but not limited to money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus checks, anything else like that? Well, if you said yes to either of those questions or both of them, then you are definitely in the right place, because that is exactly my dedication to all of you right here in this community. So if you have not done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video. Do yourself a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos going forward, as it is a very busy time out there. Things are happening fast, as you all recognize. Just look around out there. There's a lot of stuff that's happening right now. It's a very weird time that we've been living through for the last couple of years, and realistically, it's going to continue to be this way for at least probably the next couple of years as well. So either way, I'm here for you to advocate on your behalf, to help you out, to keep you informed, and again, to be here for you right by your side to point out anything out there you can possibly grab or take advantage of. So subscribe down below, share the video with your friends, family, social media, and let's get into it and talk about SSI, a $1,400 fourth stimulus check for 2024, what this means for SSI beneficiaries, as well as all the other beneficiaries I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And let's talk about what's going on. And again, as requested by those of you here in the community receiving SSI. Now, I actually get these questions a lot from a variety of other beneficiaries as well, like SSDI. What about retirees? What about seniors? What about, disability? All kinds of things like this. So again, I get all kinds of questions all the time asking, is there a check? How much is it going to be? Who's going to get it? Are we included? When are we going to see it? How are we going to get it? All kinds of stuff like this. Now, again, as always, in videos like this, I like to preface it and throw this out there right away from the very start so we can all be on the same page, which is, as of right now, a stimulus check has not been approved yet, okay? I know sometimes you see out there in the headlines, you see other people talking about this saying, they've been approved and they'll be hitting your accounts tomorrow. No, that is not happening as of right now, okay? But just because that isn't happening as of yet, we can still talk about, okay, what are the latest updates? What are we watching closely right now? What is going to be the catalyst to actually determine the likelihood of that next round of checks to go out at some point, right? Now, here's the thing. If you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, or if you're brand new to the channel, first off, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We've got to stick together right now. But here's what I've been saying for a while now. We've got to watch the economy, okay? Now, if you've never heard this before, or if you've never heard me say this before, why is it all about the economy? Isn't it about us, the people who actually need the money? Well, we would think that's about it, but no, it's actually not. It is 100% about the economy. Now, let me define economy really quickly, okay? Because you could look at the economy and think, okay, like, what do you mean by that? Here's what I'm specifically focusing on and what I'm watching very closely when it comes down to the determination of the distribution of additional stimulus checks for the people, okay? Number one, the unemployment rate, okay? This is very important. In fact, in my personal opinion, I could be 100% wrong about this, but in my personal opinion, I would say the unemployment rate, as in the job market, is probably one of the highest data points that we need to continue watching to determine the likelihood of additional checks going out. Because the unemployment rate, as in the number of people employed, shows us a lot about the economy. If the unemployment rate is going up, that simply means people are being laid off, businesses are not hiring, businesses are contracting, they're lowering their payroll, payrolls, and it's just not as many jobs out there to be had, okay? It tells us a lot about the economy, okay? So that is one factor I'm watching very, very closely. And realistically, over the last several months here, we've been seeing the unemployment rate ticking up higher and higher and higher based on what it was in the summer of 2023, where it was at about 3.6%. That's very low. Historically, that's very low. But it has gone up quite a bit since then. And again, the higher and higher the unemployment rate goes, the higher the likelihood of checks to be distributed, because I could literally make a video an hour long talking about why the unemployment rate is so incredibly important. It just shows how many people are actually employed. How many people are unemployed, okay? Again, it tells us a ton about the economy. When the economy is weak, when the economy is in a recession, when the economy is in a major contraction, that is when we see major stimulus checks being approved and tons of money being approved by Congress and basically just being pushed out into the economy, okay? So that's number one that I'm watching. I want to continue watching the Federal Reserve as well. What are they doing with their interest rate policy? Now, for a couple years there, or for about a year and a half or so, we saw them raising the interest rates pretty aggressively, right? We saw them raising them very aggressively. We've seen a pause from them, but we need to continue watching. Are they going to go back to raising interest rates more? Are they going to start cutting aggressively? What are they going to do, okay? Now, here's the thing. When they cut interest rates aggressively, that spurs economic growth and economic stimulus. Reason being is when money gets cheap, as in when the interest rates are low, it is cheap to borrow money. People like us, you and me, we start spending more, we start borrowing money, and the same goes with businesses. They start borrowing money, they start spending more, they start ramping up inventory, all kinds of things like this. So when interest rates are lower, it's easier to borrow money and it's easier to spend money for everybody, people, businesses as a whole, and that stimulates the economy. Okay, so we'll need to continue watching the Federal Reserve very closely as well. Next, inflation. I want to continue watching inflation, even though this is not the story of the day anymore. It was for a couple of years there when inflation was very high. It is still very high as of right now, but it is not really kind of, taking the spotlight anymore because it has come down, according to what they're telling us anyway, it has come down a little bit. And as a result of that, we need to continue watching inflation to see what happens. The lower the inflation number is, or at least what they're telling us it is, the higher the likelihood because the higher the likelihood of checks being distributed, because with inflation being low, they could justify printing more money. If inflation is very high, the justification to print money would be lower. They're going to say, hey, inflation is way too high. We're not going to print any money. But if inflation is very low, then they can easily say, well, look, inflation has come down. We've done a great job. And then they can print more money, right? You see what I mean? They have that justification to actually do that. So these are some of the metrics I'm watching very closely. But when it comes down to SSI or SSDI or retirement benefits or seniors or survivors or spousal or any of these fixed income beneficiaries that we watch and talk about so much here on the channel, realistically, you're all kind of one group, kind of one in the same, okay? The reason that I say that is this. When it comes down to fixed income benefits, whether it's any of the benefits I just mentioned a second ago, they're all administered by Social Security, okay? So if one group of Social Security beneficiaries gets checks, they're basically all going to be included, okay? Remember, the eligibility of stimulus checks is always based on income. It's not based on your age. It's not based on your demographics, as in where you live, or all kinds of different things like this. Fixed income benefit, whatever you want to say to fill in the blank, okay? It's always based on income. They basically say, hey, if your income is below a certain threshold, you're allowed to receive the check. If your income is above a certain threshold, then, sorry, you don't get a check. As a default, fixed income beneficiaries are generally below the income threshold, okay? So when it comes down to it, for anybody asking, hey, are we included? The simple answer would be most likely, yes, you would be included in the event they approve another check. But as of right now, like I said, they have not approved anything as of right now. But we'll need to continue watching all this very closely as 2024 unravels and as we get closer and closer to November to see all the promises that they come out with, right? So anyway, I want to buzz through the details about this really quickly here. I don't want to spend a ton of time here in this video just because I want to come back, lay that all out for you really fast here, and just let you know what I'm actually watching out there very closely and what we will need to continue watching through the entire year. So when it all comes down to it, it's all about the economy. If you see the economy contracting, if you see a recession on the doorstep, that's a good thing when it comes down to checks, because when we see that happen, we receive checks. Every single recession that we've seen over the last 23 to 24 years, they've all produced stimulus checks. So do you think the next one's going to? Yep. Sure is, okay? So anyway, I'll keep you posted on any details that I get out there. As of right now, this is the latest update and what I'm watching closely. I'll continue to be here for you. Again, subscribe down below, totally free to do so. Share the video with your friends, family, social media. Again, totally free to do so. Go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Again, totally free to do so. And those videos that I have linked down below in the description, totally free to do so. Leave a comment, question, feedback down below. Totally free to do so. Do you see the theme here? Everything is free. I like free, right? So anyway, enjoy your day. Thanks again for joining me. I truly do appreciate every single one of you here in this community. I'm here for you, right by your side every single day, no matter what. And that's about it as of right now. Enjoy, take care, and I'll catch you again later.